Let's talk about migrants in Northern Ireland can't be deported to Rwanda. That's according to the Northern Ireland High Court. Mr. Justice Humphreys of the Northern Ireland High Court ruled that aspects of the Illegal Migration Act, this is part of the Rwanda bill, were incompatible with the European Convention on Human Rights. So asylum seekers, if they go to Northern Ireland, cannot be deported to Rwanda. That bill will be law will be disapplied, that's the phrase, call it, in Northern Ireland. This follows a case involving a 16-year-old who had been brought to the UK by his family as a child. Well, let's talk about this with Martin Howe KC. He's chairman of Lawyers for Britain and joins us now. Good morning to you, Martin.
Good morning, Julia.
Thanks for joining us. Tom Sater was saying a little bit earlier, he's surprised that the government didn't foresee that this was exactly the sort of case that would come up and why they didn't predict this would happen. Were you surprised about this ruling?
No.
There you are.
Shortly before Christmas, I participated in a group of lawyers who produced a report on the Rwanda bill, and we included in that report a warning. We said that there is an argument that Article 2.1 of the Northern Ireland Protocol might, through giving the technical mechanism, create obligations in UK domestic law which could interfere with the operation of the bill. That was in a paper we published.
You might have given them the idea.
No,
Martin.
we didn't give them these activities are already underway.
Yeah.
This use of the Northern Ireland Protocol. We told the government about this. I despair at the incompetence and weakness of the current government. It really is a disaster zone.
Martin, I think we all do. Was there a way that they could have framed this bill, added a clause, taken something out that would have got round this aspect?
Yes. They could easily have put in a clause excluding the application of the Northern Ireland Protocol to the provisions of the bill.
Wouldn't there be a challenge on that, though?
No, it couldn't have been challenged if it had been done.
Because this is specific. It's specific to the Northern Ireland peace deal, isn't it? Specific to those arrangements with Northern Ireland that this can be applied there rather than the British mainland.
It's specific to the Northern Ireland Protocol.
Yeah.
So it's although it's linked to European Convention rights and so on, the actual legal basis of this is under the Northern Ireland Protocol, which is part of the EU withdrawal agreement.
The Brexit deal, sorry.
And it applies in Northern Ireland, and our Parliament has foolishly given it its supreme status above all other acts of Parliament.
Right. I mean, we've already had the issue, haven't we, of migrants arriving in the Republic of Ireland, ministers in Ireland complaining about this, arriving in the Republic, though, on the basis that, well, if we're going to go to the Republic of Ireland, they're not going to deport us to the UK. They're trying to change the law there so they can deport to the UK. Our government has said, no, if France won't let us deport them back to France, we're not going to take them from the Republic of Ireland. Which I did think was a little bit of a told you so moment for Republic of Ireland, given that government happily sold Britain and Brexit voters down the river, basically to be chummy up with their EU friends in Brussels. But Northern Ireland, you've got to remember, I mean, Northern Ireland in that situation, the idea was they were supposed to have the best of both worlds. They seem to have the worst of all worlds in terms of what's actually happened. It was thrown onto the bus by, including people like me, who said, right, we'll support the Brexit deal, this is as good as we're going to get, and the difficulties for Northern Ireland have continued. But this could actually mean people arriving in Dover, travelling to the rest of Britain, getting onto a ferry, arriving in Northern Ireland, and then they're not going to be able to be removed. This is going to become the bane of Northern Ireland people's lives. Yeah,
it could lead to a considerable influx of Channel boat people into Northern Ireland, putting all sorts of strains on Northern Ireland.
Already, I mean, it's a poor province. It's perhaps unable to deal with this as much. Although, again, lots of people in England will go, oh, well, not our problem, but very much a problem for our fellow countrymen and women.
Indeed. I mean, it's a scandal the way Northern Ireland has been treated. But the withdrawal deal, I mean, there are reasons why it had to be done at the time. But the real scandal is the failure to address the hangover, this Northern Ireland Protocol. Yeah. And what that means is that foreign laws controlled by a foreign court apply to part of the United Kingdom. Yeah. It treats that part of the United Kingdom differently from the rest. Yeah. It creates severe practical problems in trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which have not been solved by the much hyped so-called Windsor Framework deal.
Can I just ask, just finally, what could the government do now, given that this court ruling has happened, to overcome this, if anything?
OK, well, they could appeal against it because, there are technical arguments under which it might be reversed on appeal. And I think they are appealing against it. They're technical arguments to do with whether these actual provisions do or do not have direct effect as a matter of EU law.
Right.
But short of that, I mean, their problem is that they needed to deal with this in the Rwanda bill. I mean, think of the trouble they got getting that through the House of Lords.
I don't think we can all go through that again. But again, just an abject failure by government lawyers again. Shocker. Martin Howe KC, it's almost like they don't want to get this through. Martin Howe KC, very much appreciate you joining us, Chairman of Lawyers for Britain. Thank you for that.